It's time to take A Therapeutic Dose, a prescription-strength reality TV podcast that explores the intersection of reality TV and therapy. Possible side effects may include entertainment, strong emotional reactions, and/or laughter. Here are your hosts, Ramona Ramirez and Margee McGee.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to A Therapeutic Dose, where we meet at the intersection of reality TV and therapy. I am Margee McGee, and with me, as always, is my co-host and dear friend.
Hi, friend. I am Ramona Ramirez. Margee, I cannot quantify in the English language or any other languages that I know even a little bit of with how happy I am to see you this morning. I love you so much.
We both have the giggles. We're just like little schoolgirls over here.
We do.
And for me, none of it's related to the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills.
Fudge to the no, it's not.
Oh my God, this was such a snooze. It was just retreading territory we've already covered. We spent 20 minutes with Erika flirting with a dentist and talking to a pink-haired lady. I'm like, what? Why did we have this episode? We've talked about
and her lackluster choreography scene.
Oh. And the central storylines were Crystal and AnneMarie. And I was like,
oh God, you're right.
No, thank you. I hated this episode. I was so, I mean, of course I have plenty to say about it, but I was just like, this is so dumb. This is just filler. It's pure chuffa and who cares?
Listen, though, but before we start like the official part of the podcast, I just want to say welcome and thank you to everyone that found us from Margee's appearance on And Just Like Matt. And one listener who just joined us, her name is Amberly. She sent us the sweetest message on Instagram. Amberly, that was so nice of you to take the time out of your day to do that. And welcome to all our new people. If anyone has not had a chance to listen to it from last week, I will drop it in the show notes when we post the episode later on today so that you can listen to it. Margee it was such a great episode, Margee. It was so fucking good. I wish it had just been you and Matt. Sorry.
Don't know. It was, look, for anyone who doesn't know, the podcast initially it covered And Just Like That. And now Matt is going back and covering episodes of Sex and the City. And so I got to be on with him and another writer guest. And yeah, it brings up so much interesting shit. Like that show was such a revolution in its time.
Totally. It was.
Yeah.
But you were hella funny on it. And you brought all of your wisdom that I should be paying you millions of dollars in gold for. You dropped like your hella sage experience, strength, and hopes with that one caller. And I was like, that caller is so fucking lucky he got you to answer his question. And I was like in awe of you. And then if you cannot be more of a badass, you talk about when you were a fucking rockette, dude. You were a fucking rockette, and that is iconic. And Mom, I'm sorry that I'm saying fuck, but this is fuck-worthy. Margee was a rockette. Kick line.
That whole episode was a journey. I went from like discussing being a rockette to discussing someone asking me to eat their ass to giving a heartfelt shout out to a man who's going through a breakup and is concerned he won't be okay.
Oh my God.
If you're interested in any of those topics, they're all covered on And Just Like Matt.
Oh my God.
Insane.
Oh. Anyway, it was great, Margee. And I want to listen to you on this podcast. I want to listen to you on Matt McConkey's podcast. I want to listen to you on any fucking podcast. So
I love it. Thank you.
You're so welcome. So yeah, this is season 13, episode 11. Episode 11 already. It feels like this just started, but at the same time, it feels like we are miles and miles away from medicine woman.
Eagle woman. Something.
Yes, Eagle Woman. The Eagle Woman has landed. Mm-hmm. Oh, shit. This is episode 11, Bitter Pill to Swallow. And
what is that in reference to? I never look at the titles. What does that mean?
Oh my God, that's a great question. Who took pills? Is it just because there's so much esophagus talk?
Oh, for Christ's sake. I guess it's a swallow joke or whatever. I don't know. I really could have done without this episode.
Oh my God.
The whole thing just begins with what? What happened? I lost you.
You said swallow joke and it made me laugh.
Yes, because we're 6 years old and that's just what
We're
it is.
6 years fucking old. Okay.
Um,
The
yeah, go
first
ahead.
feeling I had to grapple with after I judged Dorit was jealousy with a capital J because Garcelle was getting that amazing looking facial. And I was all, oh, I want a facial. I want a facial real bad.
Why do you want a punishing facial like that? She was getting her
Oh,
face
no.
electrocuted for money. Like, that was
It looked like
insane.
it looked like there was like lots of
Can
calming,
I just
cooling
say
gels.
something? As someone who spent $1 billion on every fucking face gym-like place that is in existence, the only thing that is ever gonna work for me, and I finally had an honest
I know
dermatologist
what you're
tell
gonna
me,
say. I know
the
what you're gonna
only thing that
say.
will work for me is plastic surgery. All of the rest of this shit is just bullshit, and I'm all for it. There's a million reasons to get like a lymphatic drainage, but I'm sorry. That's nice that you get a lymphatic drainage, but you don't look any different to me. If you feel better and your face feels slimmer, fantastic. But like, I don't know. It looked
I
painful.
just
And Garcelle is so beautiful. I was like, why? Just
She's so
don't.
stunning. I don't
Yeah.
know. It feels like it would be really nice to just be able to close my eyes and have someone like touch my face with cushiony gels
The
with
gel
a
looked amazing.
you
She
know,
had like
the
an
gel
inch
looked
and a
great.
half of like
That's
lube
why
on
it
her
looked so good.
face.
That's why
But
it looked
then,
so inviting. It looked so
yeah.
cushiony because it was thick.
Have you ever
Yeah.
used one of those like new face things that has those like
No.
charged? I did
No,
that
I
once, of
haven't.
course, because again, all I do is spend money on things that don't work.
Well,
But
listen.
it's really it does feel like it just when you get like a shock from walking on a carpet or something,
Yes.
it just feels like
Yes.
that constantly all over your face. And like
Ooh.
initially it's like, ooh, and then it's like, ow. This is
Yeah, I don't
why
know
did
if
I
I
pay to
want that.
rub this on my face? Anyways.
Around Christmas when like Sephora and Nordstrom were having sales and extra points, I looked at the Omnilux and the whatever, there's another equivalent.
The
And I was
Dr.
like,
Dennis Gross thing, the face thing.
no, because that one, okay, so I have some opinions on Dr. Dennis Gross
Oh.
because I was around when he first dropped those alpha hydroxy peels,
Mm-hmm.
and they just weren't as good as they could have been. So people were getting the benefit of the BHA, but because the neutralizer wasn't the right alkaline, the BHA would stay on people's face and it could potentially irritate it. So, like, I love BHA so much. I use it probably every day. But if it's not the right pH, then it's going to fuck up your skin or it's not going to work. So I don't trust his stuff. And his review, it just seemed like it was way more expensive than the other ones. The other ones were 4, and I feel like his is closer to 6.
I
Are we having this
mean,
conversation?
look,
Anyway, I
it's
was,
because he's a beauty doctor named Gross. You know what I mean? Like there's
I
stuff
mean,
to talk about here. It's unfortunate.
that's a common last name, but I hear,
It is,
yeah,
but if I were
it's
him,
unfortunate for his career.
if I'm
It's
selling
very
beauty
unfortunate.
products, I'm just Dr. Dennis. You know what I mean? I'm leaving
Yeah,
off the
you're right.
gross.
Dr. D, but there was already DDF. Anyway, so I was looking at those like full red LED masks, and all of a sudden I was like, really? $400? HSA covers them? I'm not saying it's never going to happen. I'm just saying it didn't happen then.
It can totally happen. I just don't think it works. All of the people who are like, look, I'm beautiful because I put this on. I'm like, you're beautiful because you're
Right.
beautiful. It's like when I bought Cindy Crawford's product line called Meaningful Beauty. And I was like,
Oh, yeah.
now I'm going
The
to look like
melon.
a supermodel. The cantaloupe does
Dr.
nothing for
Obagi.
her or for me. It's bullshit. Cindy Crawford is Cindy Crawford. I am
Yeah,
Margie
yeah, she
McGee.
is.
And a cream from France isn't going to fucking change
Listen,
either one of us. I'm
listen.
just saying.
Mm-mm.
This has just been my experience with like every beauty product
I
from
hear
like
you.
La
I
Mer
mean,
to whatever. Like it's all
that's the thing. They all lie. My motto with skincare is friends don't let friends use La Mer. It's fragranced, which is an extra ingredient you don't need. It's fucking mineral oil, which is as antiquated a main ingredient of skincare as you can fucking get. It's got artificial color. There's nothing in there that you can't get with like, I don't know, Vaseline at like CVS. So when I sold skincare, if people wanted to buy it, I'd be like, absolutely. Yeah, it's lovely. The fucking proprietary sea algae bullshit that was in it. But if as I really cared about someone, I'd be like, hell no. I wouldn't even use the samples because I was like, why would I put mineral oil on my skin?
I mean, I got at some point some like little gift, like sampler gift thing for La Mer. And there was like a gel cream and a serum that I loved, but the actual classic La Mer cream, it went
Yeah,
on like wax. I was like,
it's
ugh.
full like 1950 stuff. The serum was actually a legit
I
product, but
loved that.
it smelled way too like briny for me. It smelled fishy.
La Mer, baby. It's the ocean.
I know, but I think it's gross. I don't like
I
that
know.
smell. That's why I don't like Perricone either, because his stuff has so much omega-3s. We really pivoted, didn't we? We went down that
That's how
skincare
bad
aisle.
this episode is. I mean, it starts with Sutton on a reformer by a fire, FaceTiming Avi on a phone held by her assistant. Erika's dancing, as you mentioned. That's like the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Oh my God.
Dorit's precocious child. And then Garcelle getting
Oh God.
electrocuted.
The child, like Dorit is projecting all of her pick-me energy onto Phoenix. And it's just she's just the most inauthentic. Never mind. I literally don't have to repeat everything I've said since we fucking started this podcast, right?
It's
All right.
so in that 4-sentence scene, it's just so clear, all of it. And then we move on to
Yeah.
Sutton cutting roses at her entrance, and Kyle arrives with like a real Morgan Wadey kind of attitude. She came in like real, like, what are you doing? You pretending you garden? You know, like you look like you're working for the Easter Bunny or something. Well, you have fun with that. I got to get my face out of the
So
sun. Yeah, sure. I'll have a warder. Like, who is this woman? Like, she's
I
just
don't know.
so cynical and shitty. I'm like, Sutton is picking gorgeous, fragrant
They were
roses.
stunning, and she was doing it in her cute little outfit in front
I
of her
know. And
fucking
Kyle's like,
amazing
what the fuck
house.
is this bullshit? Get me out of the sun. I
No,
was like,
she
oh my
was
God,
like
you're so
she was like
mean.
my Palm Beach Kelly Wersler favorite decor. Never mind. You know what I'm saying. My God, I'm not
Yes.
making any sense today. I'm sorry.
No, I think
Mm.
there's nothing to make sense of. It's just all filler. They go into Sutton's kitchen. Kyle does a whole survey. There's no food in the fridge. She puts on an eye mask. It's just so, I was like, what the fuck is happening? I don't
I
care
know.
at all. They download the Celebration of Life event. The only thing that mattered to me in this was that Sutton properly expressed her
Yep.
disgust with
Yep.
Mauricio for
Yep.
not showing up for Kyle and for Loreen's family.
100%.
Fuck him.
100%. Yep. She said what we were all thinking, you know? And I understand this is probably I'm a terrible person. I understand that this is probably an incredibly important / vital charity for those that use it, but its name is Homeless Not Toothless. And if that isn't camp, and the fact that Dorit is their spokesperson, there's not a more perfect charity for her to work with than one called Homeless Not Toothless. That's what I'm trying to say. That is what I'm trying to say.
I wish they had changed the name by now. Like,
I mean,
I was
it's a
over it.
joke. How can you? Yeah.
Yeah. And in this episode, they really played it like a joke. And I was sick of it. Like in 2022, when it first happened, I was like, haha, homeless, not toothless. And that whole scene where everyone kept getting it wrong, hilarious. I don't need the 2024, like, I don't know, just watching like rich people laugh about, there was nothing in this episode. So I guess that's what we're left with, is watching the ultra rich laugh at the expense of the ultra poor and whatever. I don't know. I hated everything about this episode. So this was just another element. I was like, I don't think this is funny anymore. And
they start talking about AnneMarie, and Sutton doesn't know why she's coming for her. And the only thing I can think of is that AnneMarie has been watching the show and knows that Kyle is one of the Fox Force 5, or she's a leader of a Fox Force fill-in-the-blank number. And so, and I feel like she's, a little bit of the D-rider for Kyle. But, I mean, Sutton deserves an apology. And if AnneMarie thinks that people cannot see right through her, I don't know what she's taking.
She's an idiot.
I don't know.
She's
such an
idiot. And I think, later we find out, or maybe we knew this all along, but Kyle says, I brought AnneMarie into this group. And I think AnneMarie is doing exactly what you're saying. She's just being like a Kyle minion, but she's really bad at it.
Kyle
and
minion.
she's completely inappropriate. And nobody cares about her esophagus, but great job, Sutton, on moving the conversation away from you being an alcoholic, which is
Yes.
where this whole esophagus shit was
Oh,
born from, and moving it on to AnneMarie being a dumbass. But great job, AnneMarie, being a dumbass so that we all forget that Sutton is a raging alcoholic.
oh my God, Margee, see, you see the forest through the trees, and I just see the fucking immediate stump that I'm looking at because I don't want to trip over it.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know if anything I'm saying is right. I
I
just
promise
know
you.
I appreciated what Garcelle said toward the end when she said, I think AnneMarie considers herself a medical professional, whatever that means to her. And so she wants to be right about this. And so
Totally,
she's digging
100%.
in. And that is just a
Mhm.
gross attitude. And it's, again, I could not be more bored.
It was boring.
And then Sutton plants the idea that they're going to take a girls' trip to Barcelona. And that's sort of the culmination of this boring scene.
I did like that Kyle and Sutton seemed to be getting packed to a place in their friendship that I know they really want to be. I don't know, or maybe I'm fucking magically thinking about that, but I
No, I
liked seeing
think
their friendly I liked seeing their banter again.
me too. And again, this is a total 180 from name 'em.
Oh my
Because
god.
guess who's sober? Sutton.
Oh
And
my
guess who's
god.
wonderful? Sutton. So, there we have
You're
it.
you're so right. You're so right. Oh, then we have Crystal and Garcelle are on FaceTime and they start talking about AnneMarie's wildly inappropriate eating disorder bullshit at Kyle's event. And you have to be like a real specific,
Piece of shit.
clueless
Mhm.
kind of asshole to bring up eating disorders in general. And with this much like, Margie, help me. It's not like, it's like gleeful venom, but AnneMarie's not like 100% venomous. She's 75%, but
Oh,
she's
she's the
excited about it.
8.5. She's the eight and a
She's,
half,
oh my
according to her
fucking God,
husband.
Margie.
She's really fucking,
But
driving that point
way to
home.
circling
Mhm.
back. I love that. You're right. So she's full on 8.5 around her like glee at trying to take Sutton down. And I find that repugnant. It's
She's
repugnant.
really She is really trying to be a housewife, but,
She
it's
really
not
is.
working because I don't know who she is at
Dude.
all. All I know is that
Mm-mm.
she's, trying to do a gotcha about bulimia at Kyle's dead friend's memorial. It's
Oh
like,
my God.
"Girl, oh my
Yeah. I
god."
mean, and coming in hot, dude. Like not
And
even
wrong. Just let us
so
get to know
wrong.
you.
So
That's again
wrong.
why I stand by, I will take Monica any day over anyone like AnneMarie. Just at least
You
Monica,
know?
we know who she is. She's
Yeah.
vile in a lot of ways, but I don't know who the fuck AnneMarie is. So hearing her shit on other people makes me so it just makes me hate her, especially because
Yeah.
she's also like a liar and she's just weird. Too much.
Yeah. Oh God, she's so try hard. She's so try hard. The way she even speaks is so affected. I can't stand it.
Hmm.
I don't want to see her. I don't want to see Marcellus. I think I've also said this for the last fucking 11 episodes. Maybe I need Eagle Woman to give me some sort of whatever and be like, bitch, we get it. Can you just not? Do you need to waste any more time saying this over and over? I do not.
Saying
Crystal and
what?
Garcelle. Oh wait, I already said that. I don't have to talk shit about like how much I hate
Marcellus.
AnneMarie anymore
Oh,
and
AnneMarie.
and,
Oh,
and
right.
Marcellus and wish that they were on.
No,
Like
but
who
this
doesn't? Does anyone
episode,
like AnneMarie? Does anyone like AnneMarie?
Kyle even turned on her at the end of the episode. Like
Yeah.
after her FaceTime call with her, she goes, "Yikes!" And I was like, "Oh, bye. Pack your bags, AnneMarie."
Fuck, please. She's so lame. Who would I rather have back? Joyce? Carlton? Definitely not Diana. LV fucking P. I'd rather have LV fucking P back
Yeah.
than AnneMarie. That's like a really bad trade. I don't know what you call that in sports when you just get rooked on whoever. You're like, well, I guess we'll take that. LVP is like the number one draft pick,
But
and
at least
whoever AnneMarie is the
at least
dregs.
LVP has when we go to her house, even if she's boring, her house is
Oh
ridiculous.
my
There's always like
god.
a pink tiny pony prancing around and like a floral swing. Like it's nuts. AnneMarie is just like boring on 8.5.
Oh my god. Boring on 8.5. That's the perfect way to say it. And then Crystal says that Anne-Marie told her that she was an anesthesiologist, not a nurse
Anesthetist.
Anesthetist, thank you. I am not saying they don't exist. For all I know, every surgery I've had,
They
a
do.
nurse
They definitely exist.
anesthetist
Yeah.
has been in there. So you know what? I'll just stop there. No shade,
No,
AnneMarie,
they
but
do
don't
great work.
lie about saying
It's
you're an anesthesiologist.
yeah, it's just
Not because
she's
there's anything wrong with her job, but because just be authentic.
not
Be
possible with
be
this woman.
real.
B-roll.
Be real.
Speaking of being real, we got a real look at PK's
Oh my
assholeness.
God,
Dorit and
Margee.
PK show up at the Beverly Hilton and they enter saying like, this place is iconic. And then immediately PK walks in and goes like, this looks like a workplace canteen. The carpet is garbage. He's just such an asshole. It is so unnecessary. It's like that, say what you mean, but don't say it mean. These people are standing there in their suits with their little name tags on. They put this whole table together for you. And then don't blame it on your wife. I mean, like, she'll never tell you, but this looks like trash.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
And also, have you ever been to an event at the Beverly Hilton? They all look like that.
They all look like
And
that.
the actual event didn't look any different than that initial look at a table did. It's just that. You get that carpet and oh my God. Just ugh.
Before I give you my opinion on that, I wanted to quiz you and see if you could guess what about Dorit made me almost throw my laptop to the ground and then stomp on it in rage.
Was it
What
like
do you
jeans
think?
on jeans and a puffy
It
jean
was
sleeve?
No, it wasn't the jeans on jeans. I love
Okay.
jeans on jeans.
Okay.
It was that fucking chain hanging from her belt loops.
Oh, I
And
didn't even
I,
notice.
just like right now, I I'm mad. Like my body is like, I'm mad. I'm mad at her. I'm mad at her. She's such a poser that it enrages me. So yeah, I had to get up and get a glass of water after I saw that, and if we're going to talk about therapy, me getting up and getting that glass of water for myself, that was some fucking self-care. And I took some deep breaths. I had to pause it and walk away. I had to pause.
I mean,
And
and
then
speaking of
I
therapy, Dorit is claiming that their one therapy session in their
oh my
backyard with
God.
that
Oh my God.
lady,
Oh my
she's like,
God.
it worked. And suddenly I feel so much closer to PK. And I'm so grateful. I'm like, he
Yeah.
is the same. And in fact, when Dorit's like, is anyone going to slip through security as if we're really supposed to, I don't know. Now I'm PK and I'm like, your PTSD is getting like a little bit of it's becoming a bit of a performance, my dear.
I mean, PK having the audacity to try in and comfort his wife. I just was like, are we watching a sitcom now? Or am I not watching the same fucking show? Like he's trying to reassure her that everything's going to be okay
But
when he has been
he did it in the
completely
meanest
unreliable.
way.
He
He
did.
literally said like, you know what's wrong
Yeah.
with you? Here's
Yep.
another thing that's wrong with you. You
Yep.
don't trust
Yep.
your people.
Yep.
You need to change. You need to
Oh
trust your
my
people.
God. You're
You're an
right.
asshole. As
You're
opposed to
right.
what
He's a
she asked
dick.
for, which is for her husband to come over and say like, hey, I see that you're having a moment here. You're going to be okay. I got this. But instead he was like, you know what's wrong with you? You're doing all this wrong. I hate him.
I was thinking, like, this is what struck it to me. He's trying to reassure her, and she's just eating it up. And I think because of the appointment they had with the therapist, that he's trying to like knight in shining armor her right now. PK is doing the thing where he can sense that the hammer's about to drop. He could sense it before the therapist showed up. He was like, oh shit, something's up. I'm going to get called out.
So I'm going to stop and
And
eat pizza.
I'm going to stop and eat pizza, and then I'm going to
be
make
a
bad
jerk.
jokes
Yes.
and possibly be wasted.
Mm.
So PK just has the joint session with the therapist and Dorit. And so he really knows what's expected of him right now. And I wonder if it's performative. I think that it is.
They scripted it before they got
Right.
there.
Oh, that's
Dorit's
true.
such a
And
control
Dorit's
freak.
eating it up.
Yes.
But she's buying into the magical thinking, and she's eating it up. And past behavior predicts future behavior. And I have no reason to trust that PK is anything other than PK. PK.
I agree. I didn't understand Dorit in her confessional. She said like PK, says things that I would be mortified to say. And then she says, what's on his lung is on his tongue. And
Yeah,
I
okay.
had to like pause and be like, what?
I'm going to mute myself. Okay, so
Wouldn't it be
what
what's on his brain comes out of his mouth? Like, what do you mean lung? His breath? What the
maybe
fuck?
maybe like it's
I've heard
I mean,
heart, I've
obviously we
heard
don't
mind, I've
form
heard gut. I don't know lung. That's so
right, you don't
Dorit.
have to say every thought that comes into your mind, but maybe it's like you take a breath and then the words come out.
Maybe.
So
It just was a really
maybe that's it.
convoluted. Nothing is more Dorit-y than this particular
She's
like
she's a fucking
idiom.
clown, Margaret. She's a
Mhm.
fucking clown. Mom, again,
Agree.
I'm sorry that I keep saying fuck, but I cannot stress to you enough how much this woman deserves to be spoken with. I don't know about that. All right, so then we have Crystal and Jeff at République for lunch, and just seeing the menu made me homesick.
When she walked up, I was like, it made me want to just like walk over and go right away. I love that place. It's
Oh,
so beautiful.
no.
There's no bad place to sit.
I
Everything I've
know.
ever eaten there has been delicious. Like, God, what a great, what a
I
great little
know.
treasure of Los
It
Angeles.
was. It's so and I just there was another place that we saw that made me homesick too, but I'll get there later, but,
The Beverly Hilton.
yeah, well, no. You
Same.
know what's funny? I only think when I think of the Beverly Hilton, I only think trying to come home from work in Century City. And then if it was Emmy's night, which was always a Monday, and I got stuck in that fucking traffic, I would just be like, "God damn it." You know?
I only
Getting
think
out
about
on
like
Little
Whitney
Santa Monica.
Houston. That place is poison now. Can't.
Oh, shit. Oh,
It's all I can
God.
think about.
I blocked that. You're
No,
right,
you're
you're
right
right.
to, and it is an
Ugh,
iconic place, but, like, that was, when that news story broke and they just kept showing the
I
sign,
know.
that's
I
all that has
know.
stuck in my head now, so,
Oh, you're right, you're right.
look, what's on my lung is on my tongue, I'm just gonna say it. So Crystal and Jeff, I don't know, Crystal is just a pill. Jeff explains that his ex never
Yeah,
felt accepted by Crystal or her mom, and, he has to tell her, like, "You guys did a great job, but now you can trust me." He's, like, 45.
right.
Like, this made me so upset. I don't
It
know
was
if it's
it was some
just
Arrested Development. It was some Arrested Development.
and it just sucks so much to have to and then Crystal's face was like, "Okay." Like, she had such a
I
fucking
know.
sourpuss
I know.
on. I was like,
I know.
"I really love your sibling relationship, but this is way out of line." And it's been
Mhm.
years since that. Why was Crystal so hung up on like, "Did you hug?" It's like they broke up their engagement 4 years ago. Let them hug, let them talk, let them figure this out. Like, you go home to Rob, who's off to his like toaster premiere or whatever the hell he's doing at the end of this episode. Just stop. You don't have all the answers, Crystal. You don't. That's it.
Yeah, as someone who saw in half my family, someone who saw and who knows if I would have seen this had my mom had any siblings or a male sibling, but, like, watching the dynamic between the way my dad was treated versus just the way all the Mexican sons were treated, I can't imagine being Vivi and just being like, "Eh, pass. Full hard pass. Full hard pass."
Yeah,
Who
I
wants to be in a
mean,
relationship with their in-laws?
I
Ugh,
mean, it's reminiscent
I
of, like,
mean,
how we saw Kyle and
like,
Mauricio's parents engage, like,
oh my
they have a
god.
lot of expectations of
Yep,
her,
yep,
and
yep.
it appears that she always falls short, even though
Yeah,
she gave them amazing kids and supported his career, blah, blah, blah. It's just it feels like a losing battle, like, in a
mhm.
situation like that, when you enter with people already having their arms crossed and being like, "What are you gonna bring to the table? You're not
Jesus.
good enough until you prove you are." It's like, that's
Yeah.
what kind of a that'd be a hard marriage to enter into, so
Oof, and I don't mean who wants a relationship with their in-laws. I meant or whatever I said. What I was trying to say was who wants to have their in-laws as involved in their partnership as it sounds like Crystal and their mom have been intervening his love life? No, I'm looking for a different word.
no, that's right, intervening in
Okay.
in
Just
all
like
of his
meddling, that's the word
relationships.
I'm looking for. I was looking for meddling. They were
Mhm.
fucking meddling, and that Jesus.
I mean, no
Anyway,
wonder he went overseas, and I
so
loved at the beginning of the scene,
yeah,
Crystal, again, such a pill, she's like, "Well, you took a long time," and he's like, "Yeah, I went for 1 week, and then I stayed for 3, and then I stayed for 6," and it's like, wow, you do not wanna be here at home with your family. You like your life over there much better. I would watch that show. I'd love to see Jeff and his, like,
Jeff
pop
in
star
Thailand.
career. Yeah.
going to be a DJ and
Yeah.
DJ parties. Yeah, I mean, everything he's saying is completely reasonable, and
Mhm.
if you are, you know, how do I wanna say this? This is a very typical want and need and behavior for someone who is a fully formed adult, is to want to be like, have their family butt the F out, right? I
Especially
mean,
once you've entered your 40s, maybe in your
yeah,
20s and people are like, "You're too young, you don't know what you're doing," but, like, he's
yeah,
in his 40s
yeah,
and,
he's
like,
old. He's a
he's yeah.
legit man. He's on the
Yeah, he's a
precipice of
legit
middle
man.
age.
He's darling, I really like him, but, like
I do too. I like Jeff. I got distracted by the Matthew McFadden Mercedes commercial.
oh, I didn't
It was
see
on
it.
Hulu. It was on Hulu, and I didn't boop through it because I was just like, "Oh, I'm riveted," because I love his acting so much, and I'm like, "Okay, I guess I'll watch him in a Mercedes commercial, or I'll watch him on Succession." And I've already watched Succession, like, 3 times, like, all 4, 5 seasons, and I might
Does
have to
he
start
talk
again.
does he talk in his, like,
Yes, he
real
does.
accent, or does he do
Yes.
an American he
Mhm.
does? Oh, I like
No,
that. I
yeah,
gotta watch it.
it's just super charming. He's so charming.
He's
Such a good
adorable.
fucking actor, it's, like, painful.
Amazing.
So everyone's getting ready for the gala, and no one, not one of these women, except for Dorit, is taking the name of this charity seriously. Like, they all can't help it.
It's a shame, and
They're
everyone's
piling on.
practiced and tried and,
Yeah,
like, this was just an editing decision that, like, I don't know. I think I was just in a mood. I was not on board. I was like, "We get it." I don't
yeah,
know. Maybe it's because I live in they don't live in an area where they have to come face to face with homeless people. Like, it's
right,
to them, it's
right,
just like while they're shopping at
right.
Jane's or whatever the fuck the store is,
Yeah, oh my god.
like, they don't ever encounter
Seems
human
relatable,
beings
yeah,
who don't have everything and, you know, whatever. I don't know. I was
yeah.
so bothered last night by all of this. And then Crystal, we see Dorit and PK, and Dorit takes pictures. And then Rob comes in and says he'll attend the event after he returns once he's done with his event for the brave little toaster. Nobody laughs at that. And then we have a big laugh around homeless, not toothless. I'm like, excuse me. So we're going to take the brave little toaster real serious, and then this like lovely charity for like actual people. I can't with this show sometimes. I
Oh
just
my
can't.
god. Oh my god.
Nobody flinched when he said, she's like, where are you going? He's like, oh, to an event for the brave little toaster. And everyone was just stone cold, like, sure, yeah. I can't.
Because it's just like the same thing where we forget that he has the empire that, the Lion King built, so this is so on his brand, but you're right, it's fucking insane that he said
I mean, I
that.
looked it up. I was like, what is the brave little toaster? And it's some like TV show from the 80s. I guess maybe it's just like being
Yeah, or a
put up
children's book,
on,
right?
I don't know. I
I
guess
think
it's
it's a
getting put
children's
on
book.
Disney Plus now or something. But anyways, part of me
Sounds
was like,
about
I
right.
do love this city that like on the same night there's an event for homeless, not toothless, and the entree of the brave little toaster onto Disney Plus. These are events in this city. It's
Okay.
just absurd. We're so dumb out here.
Was the Brave Little Toaster premiere, was this at the El Capitan? Or was
I don't
it
know.
at DreamWorks? Or was it like where do we think this red carpet was? Where do we think it was?
Maybe on the Disney lot. Like part of me is like, I feel like the
Oh,
brave
yeah,
little
yeah, you're
toaster was
right.
just a screening and maybe not, but he said event. So like, I don't know. It could be anywhere. They can put a red carpet and a step and repeat in front of like an AM
Oh my
PM
god.
and
You're
call
right,
it an
you're
event.
absolutely
I don't
right,
know.
which they love to do.
Mhm.
Ooh, okay, and then we have, like, what's the opposite of an amuse-bouche? Like, it's preparing you for the scene with Mauricio and Kyle. I mean, it was like the anti-palate cleanser. This made me uncomfortable to watch. It made me really uncomfortable to watch. It felt like their tension was palpable, and I do not think she likes him anymore.
No, she's
She does not
done.
have patience. She's
Well,
done.
I didn't have patience with
I
him
felt
when he very
sad.
casually says in the car, he goes, "So tell me about the event."
Oh my
He did
god.
not mention Lorene by name. He didn't mention what the event was about, which is a memorial of her suicide. Like, it's not, don't casually say, "Tell me about the event." Are you fucking
Yeah.
out of your mind, dude? And then his next question was like, "Oh, but none of the guys were there, right?" And I was like, dude, this is your defense? Followed by, I had to travel. I'm getting caught up. I was like, you're
Oh,
getting caught
God.
up? Oh, well, your wife's best friend committed suicide. And we got a flashback to seeing Loreen's mother hugging Kyle and asking, is Mauricio coming? And Kyle had to say, like, no, his business is more important than your daughter's death by her own hand. Fuck him. I hope he watches this and hates himself because gross.
Yeah,
My
I think
God.
that's wanting a lot, Margie. I don't know that Mauricio I don't know. I don't know.
No,
I don't
I'm sure
know.
you're right.
I used to think he was the kind of person that could have that kind of empathy or
Selfless
compassion, but
compassion. Yeah.
he's like he's riding the high of being the founder of the agency and how much fanfare is coming with that. I think he's closed the door and he doesn't want to open it and go back.
I mean, I
He
think
wants that red carpet life.
they're both clearly done.
Mhm.
He's just not, if he can't show up for that, he's not going to give her anything. Like it was, you know, I just hope he
Yeah.
watches Sugar, Loreen's mom, ask after him.
Oh
And I
my
hope
god,
his heart
Margie.
breaks because mine
Oh my
did. Like,
god.
what
I
an
know.
ass.
Um,
Um,
so then we go back to Homeless Not Toothless, and this is
Wait, we
where
have one
oh,
moment
sorry,
of
go on.
Kyle
Yeah.
in a cartoonishly, like, talk about a sitcom way, filing her nails and talking about how she's traveling now and like doing her nails, like literally the
And he can
dust
get
of
a
her
taste of his own
fingers.
medicine. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
It was just so, I'm like, this is a sitcom right now where like suddenly a emery board appears and you're like the shavings of your nails are flying onto your husband's suit as you tell him that you're going to Barcelona and too bad, so sad. Anyways, their marriage. And then
God.
when she's on the red carpet later saying like, why do people look at us as if our marriage is
Oh my
falling apart? I'm like,
god.
because you just filed your nails
Yeah.
onto his face and told him you're leaving the country. That might be why.
Oof, and
Anyways,
he gets a taste of his own medicine like that. I can understand. I can truly, truly, truly understand, empathize, have compassion for, and validate that need to want to show someone that you especially care about and that has hurt you with their behavior. I can understand her need to want to punish him with now he'll see what it's like, you know? I understand that. I think that that's really human. Have I talked about that in therapy? Yeah,
I think
I'm
it's really
sure.
human. I just think it's further evidence that their marriage is over. Because
Yeah,
if
it's
you want
over.
to solve your marriage, you don't like say, I'm giving him a taste of his own medicine. You say like, well, yeah, you know, you've done this all the
Yeah,
time and maybe you didn't notice, but you
right.
never gave me any warning and you would just leave the country. And if you don't recall, we have 5 daughters and I raised them all by
Right.
myself. And yes, I had help, but like, you're not, like it just, she's done. She's literally just like putting her filed middle fingers in his face and being like,
Dude, I mean,
this is it.
she filed her nails with some contempt.
That
She
was
was that was some
pointed
aggressive.
filing.
Yes.
Hmm. She was
Oh
communicating
god.
with
She
her
was.
nail filing. And also it really did bring her, whatever, her hands into focus. Everybody talks about her hands
I know,
and
but
they're right.
again, it's just we can't do shit about that. And the
No,
thing
I
is that
know.
people forget to put sunscreen on their hands. They'll put it on their
I do.
face and on
I'm
their
just
neck.
like one giant wrinkle in motion, but
And it's like you don't want to. And I just,
anyways,
all we can say about Kyle's hands is that she did not practice proper skincare,
to me it's more like
and
the shape of them. They're these like puff mitts on the end of this like very like I don't know, they're weightlifter hands on the body of this like sort of wafy sprite. I don't know. Again, I only noticed it because they became like center of focus as she filed her fingers off in front of her husband.
oh
So
god,
it's
oh,
not my business to
I
comment on her.
no,
If anybody
listen,
commented on
I
my like neck, I'd die. But
right, I
it
mean,
happened to show up in the scene and in sharp focus. So
I can't stop laughing.
I regret mentioning it.
Okay,
I take it all back. Let's go
no,
to the
it's
event.
listen, you're not the first person, and I understand that you were not coming from a place of body shaming Kyle. I
No, I'm
think
not
that
the
you're right.
first person. It's only been brought to my
You're not
attention
the
by
first
other
person.
people, but that is
Yes,
not an excuse. It's the excuse that I rail on all of these ladies when they get in arguments and say, you started it. So, like, I can't use that. I can't say someone
I
else
get it.
pointed out. And so I just picked up the whatever. Anyways, we're at the event.
Shit.
Dorit and PK look at
Okay.
the room and say
Yeah.
it's gorgeous, but it looks like, it might as well be Space Mountain at Disneyland. It's fine.
Yeah. I do like that room, the
I do
reliable
too.
star wall. But yeah,
Yeah.
this is what I was talking about earlier. I got my notes mixed up. Dorit is continuing her magical thinking by saying she couldn't have done it without PK. And I was like, Dorit, would you like to buy some MLM leggings, or can I interest you in a bridge over, I don't know, what's that saying about a bridge? What's the bridge saying?
Can't
Do
remember.
you wanna buy a
Something that ends
bridge?
with like, then I got a bridge to sell ya. But I
Then I
don't
have the
remember the
bridge to
first
tell you,
part.
right.
So
I
like,
don't either.
I
I don't
don't know.
either. Oh, fuck. Anyway, and then we have Kyle Mauricio on the step and repeat, and Kyle's voiceover is saying that she keeps wondering if her friends are analyzing her and Mo's every move. Well, Kyle can't really. She's done. Which, should she be good at lying about her relationship? Probably not. I understand that she might need to do that because she wants to protect her business. I don't know, but
Look, if she wants
yeah,
people
I
not to
mean,
be concerned about her marriage, she needs to not enter the event nagging Mauricio for heckling Marcellus on the step and repeat. She needs to not nag Mauricio about what's in your drink, alcohol or weed. Like, if you really want to put on the show that's not going to draw attention to the tension in your marriage, don't exit the vehicle saying, "Stop it. What's in your drink?" It's like, oh my God,
oh my God.
this is not.
Oh God. Whew. I don't know what this note even means. I'm happy to see the original cast supporting Kyle with AnneMarie. I might have meant in regards to AnneMarie, because it seemed like finally last night the OG cast was finally
You mean Sutton
a
supporting Sutton?
uh I don't know. You know what? Maybe scratch my note, because I honestly I don't know. I
I
could
don't know
not
what
have.
the scene was.
I might
All I
have been
know is
real
that it
confused by that.
involved like magical pussy and magical esophagus. And I was like, can we move
Oh,
on?
that's right.
Thank
Oh, is
you.
that what MP stands for?
Yes, they did the
Is
flashback to her
that what
saying, why
MP
Erica's
stands
like, why do they
for?
call it magical? Because it's because of its wetness, because of its tightness. And she goes, Sutton goes,
Oh.
because it's so sweet. And I was just like, can we, God, what are we doing? What is this show? I'm so annoyed that you're taking my night away from me. I don't want to hear about it. And it's not because I'm
I
a prude.
forgot.
It's just because, like, what are we
Margie.
doing? We're at the Homeless Not Toothless event and we're talking about Sutton's magical pussy, mad about AnneMarie talking about Sutton's magical esophagus at a suicide memorial. Like, why? I'm lost. Erika was just flirting with her dentist. What is this night? What is this night?
Oh my God. No, you forgot. You forgot the Lilliputian woman in the all pink outfit that looked like it was polyester, like double knit, who had the pink hair. She looked like a little Buffy doll from, remember that show? Oh God, I just had it in my head. Was it A Family Affair with Mr. French and Buffy?
I don't know.
Buffy and Jody. Forget it. It doesn't matter.
She did
It
look
doesn't matter,
like
but she looked like a Buffy doll.
she looked like, like one of those like 8-ounce water bottles standing between two skyscrapers in that picture. It was just like, this is everything about
Oh,
this is
Jesus.
absurd. I can't.
So absurd. Oh my God. Okay.
But then,
um,
yes, AnneMarie approaches with
oh, now
Marcellus,
I
who
see
gives
what I was
everyone
saying. Okay.
unwelcome hugs, and he cannot read the room. Sutton is like, ew, ew. And
Ew.
he's like, no, I'm a hugger. And I was like, ooh, buddy.
Enthusiastic consent includes hugging.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir. Then Sutton and AnneMarie start fighting, and I hated them both. I felt it was a little microaggressive to be like, no, ma'am, no, ma'am, no, ma'am, as AnneMarie was trying to
I
talk. But then
I
when
clocked that
AnneMarie
too,
talked,
Margaret.
I was like, shut up. It's saying like, well, I'm a critical thinker, implying that everyone else is a sheep. Like AnneMarie just, yeah, I'm with Crystal. AnneMarie is a bitch.
She is a bitch.
I would
She's
add
a
dumb.
calculated bitch.
Calculated.
She
Maybe that's
is
better. She's not dumb.
she's
She's
a dum
calculated.
dum. She's a
I
little
don't
bit of a
know.
dum dum.
Yeah.
She's she's a you know what? She's so fucking confidently incorrect so much that is why I cannot respect that woman at all. Well, first of all, I don't respect them as a couple. He is a predator and she is a Candace Owens loving, I don't know, person. And she's a transphobe. So like I don't want to fuck with these people anyway, but like I wonder if Marcellus is the only one that can give her, like, criticism, and I highly doubt if it's coming from him that it's constructive. I don't know.
There's a
You know
reason
what?
she
I'm
wound up
going
with a
way
man who calls her an 8.5. Like, she hates herself on some
what
level.
a dick. Oh my god.
And I thought it was so rude when she suggests that Crystal is jealous of her because AnneMarie is in the medical field, and Crystal had revealed that she wanted to go to medical school, but that Rob, wanted to get married and start a family. And I don't know. I just thought that was so unnecessary and rude. And I think Crystal could go to medical school tomorrow and
Yeah.
be fine. But like, it was
Yeah,
just yucky.
yeah, agreed. And this is where she starts getting caught in her lies and she's lying about she's just lying about lying. She's just doubling down and tripling down and quadrupling down, and I don't know. I can't wait for this scene to be brought up at the reunion. Hopefully
It
they
brought
will.
back all of my like post-Trump stress disorder where she was like, Crystal called you a bulimic. And Crystal was like, what? No, I didn't. And she's like, well,
Oh
I
my
didn't.
god.
I never said that. That's not what I said. I said it's not medically possible. And they cut to the scene where
Yeah.
she's like, Crystal's a liar. And they were like, what? It's just upsetting.
It was
AnneMarie
yeah.
bothers me on most every level.
Anne Marie can go in the same hall of fame, hall of shame with Lydia, Diana, Leon Locken, ugh, Ramona? Do we want Ramona in that shit-ass Hall of Fame? Probably, right?
I feel like, yeah,
Jenny,
Ramona's at the
Mary
top of the
Cosby?
pyramid
Yeah.
in that
I
Hall of Fame.
yeah. Oh, fuck, who cares? All right. So, yeah, she's getting caught up in her lies. She lied about am I going too far, Margie?
No, this
I
is
think I
what's
might
wrong with
be.
this episode. It's so boring. AnneMarie, look,
Is that why I lost?
Kyle
That's why I
tells
couldn't pay
Dorit about
attention.
the fight and says Crystal found her voice, but I didn't want her to scream bitch at an event. Okay. Then we have a silent auction where Kyle makes a joke about a ring looking like the one Mauricio got her when he cheated,
So
and
dumb.
there was a
So
record
dumb.
scratch. Dorit rearranges the seating chart. Erika takes a photo with a pink lady. Rob arrives. Paula Abdul hugs Garcelle. Mauricio makes an unwelcome joke about Sutton's esophagus. I don't know what's happening. I just kept writing down things, and it's just
No.
all
And
incongruous
then
madness. I don't
and
know.
then my least favorite part of the episode was when the MC says, "And now let's welcome fashion designer Dorit Kemsley."
Stop.
I almost threw our huge ass soundbar remote at the fucking television. Like I almost destroyed. I I I hate her so much, and she's not a fashion designer, and we need to just stop with this narrative. We need to
She
stop with
looked
this
lovely. I
narrative.
really like that dress on her. She looked gorgeous. But like,
She
no,
did. God damn it, I'll give
making
her that.
someone introduce her as fashion designer Dorit, like never,
Jesus
that would
Christ.
never
Nope.
be the words I chose. I'd say Buca de
Never.
Beppo, Lemon Room in the Valley designer Dorit Kemsley.
I forgot about that.
And then we just keep introducing
The
people.
Capri Room.
The Capri Room, excuse me.
Oh,
Sorry.
shit.
Just looks like.
No. Yeah, okay.
So
Yeah.
Dorit introduces Paula Abdul, who introduces, and I quote, multi-nominated artist. Why so vague? I don't know. Taylor Dane. And then we head into a long, awkward sequence of rich people dancing and singing along.
It
And I
was
just wrote, kill me now. Like, I
Kill Me
can't.
Now. It was so
That's when I looked to see
unfortunate.
like how much is left. And there was
Me
still like 20
too.
minutes left. I was like,
Me
what is
too.
this
Oh my
show?
God. Did that too.
I hate
I
it.
did that too. Oh my God. Oh
I
my
like
God.
Taylor Dane, but like not
I
just
know.
everything is
It
so
was
B-list. It's just, ladies and gentlemen, Berlin, ladies and gentlemen, Boy George, ladies and gentlemen, Taylor
listen.
Dane. Like, can you please give me the like Rolling Stones or like anything where I'm going to go like,
And
whoa,
Homeless Not
cool.
Toothless, Margie, Homeless Not Toothless
Look,
is going to
Beyonce
get
performs in place. Like, I don't know why. I
yeah,
just
because
don't
she's
know why.
getting paid $1 million to $5 million for an
That's a good
independent,
point.
like a independent performance or something.
Smart point.
I mean, let's see. Yeah, yeah. I don't think the Rolling Stones are going to be doing a private event for Homeless Not Toothless, but
But just stop trying to be like, we have a special surprise tonight. We're still working it out. Like PK was planting the seeds for like something revolutionary at the end. And he's like, multi-nominated artist Taylor Dane from like the
I mean, she
late.
is to be fair. She is to be fair, but I get it.
She
But
is.
yeah,
It just was like, whatever. She's
yeah.
great. That's fine. It was just like,
But yeah,
We
I
get a
know what you're
big
saying.
drum roll like, ladies and gentlemen, nobody of great interest,
I
every
was just
time.
I know. I was just really glad because I booped it back to make sure that they didn't refer to Dorit as noted fashion designer. Because I was like, I looked at Josh, I'm all, did they say noted? Did they say noted? Because if they said noted, I really am going to have to take a beat. But they did not say noted, just
Yeah.
fashion designer, which is
Yeah.
enough. But hashtag rant over. Oi, oi, oi. And then AnneMarie refuses to apologize to Sutton. This is where she doubles down and triples down. And she just wants to go down in a confidently incorrect blaze of glory. And I say, you know what? You want to look like an idiot, AnneMarie? I guess you don't need any help with that. Just there you go. You have carte blanche. Idiot it
It's
up.
just, and the way her language saying, like, I won't let, to Sutton, she says, I won't let you continue that narrative. It's like,
Oh my God.
people need to stop using the word
I
narrative
know.
because
I know. I
when
know.
when
I
the
know.
truth is on tape, it's really hard for me to like I take the charge up behind. I don't know. I just wrote Jesus Christ. Like I can't. And then Kyle made another like really tacky joke of like, I'd rather be toothless than deal with this. It's like, oh my
That
God.
was really fucking tacky. That was
Oh my
so
God.
tacky.
Everybody is just
That was
like
so
rich and out of touch and awful
what a
and Taylor
disaster.
Dane. And oh my
What a
God.
disaster. Oh my God.
It's finally over. This event is finally over. And it's the next day, I guess. And there's this long packing FaceTiming segment. I mean, it's just so boring. Sutton instructs Kyle to instruct AnneMarie to not talk at us, which I thought was a little weird and gross.
Yeah.
Kyle tells AnneMarie that last night was a lot. And for her to say
Yeah.
that, that's something.
It is. It is, right? For Kyle to say it.
That's when I feel like Kyle was just
Sober
like,
Kyle.
I
Now
think,
Kyle has like clear eyes to see everybody else's behavior.
yeah, no, I think Kyle's
Sorry, I
done
shouldn't
with
be a hater.
AnneMarie. She's like, yeah, this is her saying like, you're on your own, lady. Good luck
Fingers
keeping your
crossed.
job.
The other part of the episode that made me really homesick is when Kyle and Sutton are having their conversation and Kyle's all, where are you? She's all, at the most expensive grocery store in Los Angeles. And she's all, Erewhon or Bristol Farms? And I was all, the money I spent at Erewhon. My God, my
Oh,
God, my God, my
yeah.
God.
And the one in Beverly Hills just opened like a year ago, and it's just like you can't get
Oh,
in that place. It's
I
like
bet.
it's so crowded. But what was
Where
the
is it?
name? Oh, I can't remember. I think it's on Beverly. I can't remember. I get all those streets.
Yeah.
Beverly Drive,
Yes, Beverly
the
Drive.
one
Right,
that
right,
runs
right.
north south. But I did look up the name, that grocery store that she named, and it looks
Jane's.
adorable. I've never heard of it, but I looked it up and I was like, it looks like a Dean and DeLuca kind of thing. Or
Where
just,
is it?
I don't know, but I got to find it. I'm going to take a pilgrimage. I've got to go there. It looked so, oh God, it just looked beautiful.
Does it
And
look like a Jones, but a grocery store?
it looks like Dean and DeLuca, where there's like everything is perfectly and fully stocked and gorgeously packaged. And it's just like pristine. And I don't know.
Merch to the gods?
Yes, it just is
Yeah.
beautiful. So I'm gonna find that place and
Jane's.
I'm gonna take a look through it.
Jane's.
I mean, to me, the only thing that really mattered here is that AnneMarie finally does call Sutton. Sutton answers the phone saying she's actually eating. So here we are back in this.
Oh,
And then
shit.
AnneMarie,
That's
in
right.
like the least endearing way possible, says, I'm coming to you with my heart in my hands. And it
It was
apologizes for
so
her part, which is
disingenuous
just weak.
and
And then
so
eventually,
fucking manipulative, Margie. It was so manipulative because it was dishonest and it
of
was leading the
course.
witness. Like, I'm I apologize for my part, but that means you need to apologize for your part now. So I'm saying you have a part within my apology, which negates the apology.
And Sutton called her on it, and she's like,
Yep.
and Anne-Marie says, like, "I'm sorry I upset you." And Sutton goes, "For talking about me behind my back." And Anne-Marie's like, "For
Dude, I
talking about you
loved
behind
it.
your back." And
Yeah, I loved
so
it.
Sutton, graciously accepts this half apology so we can go to Barcelona as armpit buddies or whatever they tried to make us think was like cute and funny
Oh
about
my
this
God, oh my
relationship.
God, oh my God. Oh, thank fucking God it's over.
Well,
It's
they give
over.
us the 24 hours
Oh, that's
later thing,
right.
and I was
That's
like, "Oh
right. I
my God,
forgot.
what?" And then it was just
I
like,
know.
"Uh-oh, our hotel is
You're in a
haunted."
haunted fucking villa, right?
Again, this
So
episode, I've
stupid.
never been
God.
more furious.
I feel ripped off.
100%. This was just it's like a, in the 80s, they would do clip shows for sitcoms.
Mhm.
It just felt like we
Yes,
just saw
yes,
a bunch
yes,
of
yes,
scenes that
yes.
we've already seen, and they hung it all around the Homeless Not Toothless event, and all of it was bad. So
It was
this will
bad.
not be a multi-nominated episode. I'll just leave it there.
Speaking of multi-nominated episodes, what else did you watch this week, friend?
Oh, I watched Salt Lake City Reunion Part 2. My brain is not calling up anything about it. Oh, Mary Cosby was on it. That's why.
I haven't seen
Mary
it yet.
Cosby she just talks in circles. It's the standard thing. And then, I was struck by I watched the Emmys
Yeah.
and
Oh,
now I can't remember who is was it? Oh, I'll think about this and I'll bring it up next week because I can't remember what was happening. But somebody in his acceptance speech, I cannot remember for which show, commented on basically directly commented on suicide and mental health care and speaking to people directly in this industry who, especially coming out of this strike, everyone is in some sort of recovery,
yep.
mental, emotional, financial, whatever. And he did it in this like really lovely, non-judgmental, non-preachy, beautiful way. So I will try to find out who that was and what exactly he said because at the moment it really moved me. And then I forgot to write it down. So here we are.
Let's see. I don't remember. I don't remember. I don't remember shit. I don't remember. We might have started something. I can't remember. I haven't watched Salt Lake yet. I haven't watched Potomac for like 2 or 3
Me
weeks.
neither. I
I
can't.
haven't watched Miami in 2 or 3 weeks. And the
Oh
great thing
yeah.
about this is that if I'm not, I can just, watch it on Peacock and not have to boop through commercials. But I I watched whatever Laker games I could get on Hulu. I can't remember. Beverly Hills. Fuck, I feel like I watched something else, but I can't remember what it was.
I mean, I just watched You Don't Ever Want to Hear About This. We're almost done. As of February, we'll be done completely. College football is over, but now we're in the NFL playoffs and it's really exciting. These were the wild card games, but they were actually kind of disappointing. But anyways, I did watch those. I spent a
Oh
lot of
my
hours
god.
watching.
Oh my god.
Yeah. What was your antidepressant?
Oh my god. That is a great question. Antidepressant or it's been a week. I think my antidepressant right now is that I have supportive friends in my life and I have supportive uh support staff like my therapist who's on my payroll, but she can fit me in twice this week because it's been kind of a doozy and I've just had a lot going on and I just, you know, can feel a little nutty and need to know that I'm not just floating out here by myself, you know?
Mm.
So, yeah. How about you?
Mine is much more superficial. I
Oh
walked over
god, who
to the
cares?
pharmacy the other day and they have out their Easter candy display, which is just
Oh,
my
you've got your
favorite time of year.
candy.
So they have
Mhm.
Cadbury mini eggs, like everything is
Oh
fully stocked right
god.
now. All of the like Reese's peanut butter cups that are wrapped in pastel, Hershey Kisses.
Yeah.
Like there's just something that I love about that
You
particular
love that.
display. I love it. I went there to pick up a prescription and I left with a prescription and like 10 bags of Cadbury mini eggs, but I
You
love
love
them
Cadbury mini eggs,
so
Margie. They're your
much.
fucking favorite. You should have
I
them.
love them. And when I had COVID, it screwed with my taste buds. So there was a year where Cadbury mini eggs didn't taste good to me. And I thought I was gonna I just thought my whole identity was crushed. But this
Yeah.
year I love
You
them
have your
again.
taste
Look,
back?
there's a bowl right here.
Oh god, and that's
I
what's always
do.
so cute about your house, Margie, is that you have all your candy out in, like, super cute bowls, so it's part
Always.
of always, it's part of a display, like, when you walk into a cute confectionery.
It's my
Confectionery?
favorite this is my favorite
Confectionery.
time of year for my candy bowls because 'cause they're all like these like happy pastel colors and it's only January. Anyways, that's my
Oh,
antidepressant,
love it.
candy,
I love
cheap
it.
candy.
Are we at the end? Is this our shortest episode ever?
Yes,
Is
because
this our
Beverly
shortest
Hills gave us
episode since
nothing to work with.
the,
They gave us
first
nothing.
or second one?
Yeah.
Wow. Everyone, you can reach us or you can, please
Ramona,
Take
Ramona has
two.
had a difficult week, ladies and gentlemen. She is doing her best
I'm
to
doing my best.
keep her
I'm doing my
focus.
best.
Yeah,
I'm
you're
trying
doing
real hard to
great.
stay focused. Okay.
Oh,
Feel free. Okay, yeah. Take three. Take three. You can find us wherever you stream your podcasts. If you could rate, review, and subscribe /follow/download, that would be so helpful for us. We would really appreciate it. I already said rate, review, and subscribe.
yes, you did. Wow, you literally just said it.
Dude, I took my meds this morning too. I wanted to wear these sunglasses because they're a little bit tinted
No, they're
and
not.
a little bit,
Are they?
aren't they? I
I
think
don't
there's like a,
know.
a smidgen. These
Oh,
are
maybe
my
it's just because
Sophia
the light's
Loren's.
hitting him. Yeah, yeah.
And I was late coming down here to start because I was looking for these all over the house. I was looking all over upstairs. And I was like, well, I guess I got to wear my other aviators. And I come down to my booth. There they are. And there are my beverage carcasses from last week when we were in here. So I just laughed and I'm all really, I was late because I couldn't find my glasses and they were in here.
We're all just doing the best we can. You know, it's
Neurospice.
neurospicy,
Neurospice.
neurospicy for sure.
Okay, so back to that. Rate, review, and subscribe, please. It really helps. We cannot tell you enough. If you want to follow us on Instagram, you can find us at A Therapeutic Dose, and you can also email us at atherapeuticdose@gmail.com.
And
I'm
that's
sorry
it.
that was so hard for me to get out.
No,
That
you
was
got
that was
it.
a struggle. That was
You got it.
struggle.
Doesn't matter. It's not where you start, it's where you finish, and you finished.
You know what? I did finish. You're right.
Well, everybody,
You're right.
please take good care of yourselves. And hopefully the Housewives will give us a little more substance next week. But thank you
I really
for
hope
staying
so.
with us through, giggling with us through this ridiculous episode. What a delight.
And everyone, I just want you to know that Margee and I say and like a lot. We are working on it. Sometimes it's hard to have ADHD. See, right now I have to look at the ceiling when I want to finish a sentence, or I have to close my eyes. So we're doing our best, and sometimes the synapses just disconnect for a minute, and you fill it in with an and then you reconnect it. My point is, I can understand how that might be frustrating to listen to. I do go through and take a handful of super egregious out of whatever goes on to the podcast, but it's how we talk. We're working on it. It's been less than a year. We'll find our way.
We were raised in the 80s where and like were basically,
That's very true.
they were like articles at that point. So
That's very true.
it's taking some committed behavioral therapy to try and work them out of our vocabulary, but we're working on it.
We're working on it. We're working on it. What else can we do but work on shit?
Progress,
Jesus.
not perfection, you know?
Yes. Yes. Friend, I cannot quantify how happy I am / was to see you this morning. My heart can burst. It could burst. Thank you so much. Everyone, thank you. And we will hopefully we'll play in your ears or in front of your face next week. I cannot talk.
We'll just say goodbye. We'll reconvene next week. We'll talk more then.
Right now. I'm so stupid. Okay. All right.
Have
Bye.
a great week, everybody. Bye.
Bye. Ramona and Margee are, obviously, not doctors and do not provide medical advice. Their content is intended to be used for entertainment purposes only. It is not intended to be, should not be interpreted as, or used as a substitute for medical advice or a diagnosis of any health or fitness problem, condition, or disease, nor a recommendation for a specific test, doctor, care provider, procedure, treatment plan, product, or course of action.
My mom isn't a doctor.